Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. So today what we're going to be doing is looking at the final Stardust Kickstarter. Now, I wanted to go over all the changes they've made since the last time we've looked at it, and I also wanted to go over some of what I think is good and some of my concerns with the project as well. So, yeah, this is going to be more of a we're going to run through this a lot quicker than we did in our first video, just because we've already seen a lot of the Kickstarter, at least the prototype version of it. So we're not going to run through the trailer or anything for that. I'll link the last video so you guys can watch that. But basically, we're just gonna we're gonna run down some of the changes. So the goal of the game went from a 50,000 goal from before to a 10,000 goal. And they made the backer tiers way better. Now it's $1 to be a follower as opposed to whatever it was before. Now to get access to the alpha, it's only where is it? It's 30 euros, but if you are an early bird, you can get it for 20. So it's much more reasonable on that front. Like before, the alpha was like 100, which I generally don't like it when alphas are super expensive personally. But yeah, so that's definitely on the better side. They really fixed up the Kickstarter. Now we got a lot more stretch goals. So the regular goal, make the project. Fourth Planos is for 20k, second language is for 30k, French, which makes sense because he's French, Nintendo Switch port for 40k, language Japanese for 50k, it's pretty cool, Nuzlocke mode for 65k, Flying Mountain for 80k, and Fusion Planos, which is really cool, is for 100k. Now, it's not going to be like full fusion like Monster Crown, it's going to be some, so it's more realistic. I wouldn't expect them to just make a crazy like cassette beast level fusion system for a stretch goal. So that's definitely good. So if you don't know, Final Stardust is a story-driven monster taming RPG. It's basically what you'd expect. It's inspired by Pokemon Golden Sun and Yu-Gi-Oh! Think games like Coromon, Monster Crown, stuff like that, and you kind of get an idea. The monsters are called Planos, and instead of having elemental types, the types are based off of planets. And then you can see some of the artwork. The artwork and concept art for this game is amazing. Like, that's one thing I do gotta say. They have really good concepts. As you can see, like, these two characters are twins. It's gonna be sort of that yin and yang effect. And what's interesting is one has a minus on one of his cheeks, the other has a plus. And then this dude has both, so I'm assuming they, like, end up fusing together or some craziness. And then this is your companion. He can evolve into multiple forms. This is a dragon thing. That's pretty cool. And then it utilizes cards instead of like regular items. So that's where you sort of get the Yu-Gi-Oh inspiration. You could lay a card out to increase attack or whatever. There's a lot of there's a lot of things you can do with these things. There's sealing Saiments, and these are what the cards are called. These cards are used to seal Planos. Support Saiments. These cards are used to do things like healing, increasing defense, etc. Augmentation cards are used to increase your attack, double the damage of your spells, etc. And then elemental cards are used to do things like damaging a fixed amount, changing the type, etc. So that's another really cool concept. Like, I gotta say, the concepts of this game, to me, are great. Like, I really do like the concept. I think the idea behind this game is really good. I like how close it is to Pokemon. I know some people might disagree with that. I like that it kind of looks like Pokemon. Maybe that's just me. I wanna chase that sort of nostalgia, I guess you could say. So I don't have a problem with how close it looks, as long as all the assets and stuff are made from the ground up, so they don't get sued. But I'm fine with that. I think it's good. Coromon looks a lot like Pokemon too, and I love it. So that's not an issue for me. And then they have dark forms, which are going to be like the game shinies. And yeah, he's streaming every day on YouTube. You can check him out if you'd like. His name's Nor Saidana. And then we have his sort of life coming to. So he started out as someone just on YouTube. Gaming YouTuber, entrepreneur, and then now he's a game developer now. You can see the inspirations, and okay, so they did have a prototype trailer, and I'm not going to show the whole thing, but it used to be a Pokemon clone. Just like I don't use that term lightly. Like, that's just what it was. These are imagined sprites. Like, this is a Dragonite that's changed. I can't remember who this is. It might be a Houndoom. I'm not 100% sure, but he was using those as his base assets, which is fine, actually, because I've seen other games use, like, other games' assets just to sort of put down as they're developing the game. For example, I've been working on, like, something personal just for fun, and I've been using... the assets I'm using are actually free. You're allowed to use them, but they're not going to be the final ones. I'm just using them to sort of get an idea for what I want my game to look like, but that's fine. So what I was going to say was yeah, this showcase is like the battle system and stuff. It has a little bit of voice acting in it, and it mentions something about, see, he uses a card. So, that's pretty cool. Definitely not complaining. One thing about the voice acting, I hope there's a way to turn it off. I like Japanese voice acting, but I hate English voice acting. That's just me. But yeah, so this is a timeline. August 2020 is now, is when he started. December 2020 is now. December 2021 is a planned alpha, and February 2023 is a planned release. So you can end up seeing it around the same time as a game like Kindred Fates or Anitons' original plan to be out by. So yeah, you'll get a dark form if you do the villain tier. I did the early bird villain tier because why not? It's cheaper. And then he talks about risks and challenges. The only risk related to the project is running out of funds before the release date. That being said, it'll unlikely happen as everything is documented on YouTube and the community will be able to help me with any problem early on. I'm not sure what he means by that. In the worst case scenario, I'll do my absolute best to keep the project afloat, even if it means reaching out to investors and giving away part of my company. Okay, so like I said, concepts and everything, I really like. Like, I think this is a great idea. I think he came up with something really unique and something that can definitely fit into the monster taming community, 100%. I do have some concerns with the project, though, and I'm sure Nora's watching, so feel free to address them in the comments. None of these concerns are like personal or anything like that. Like these are just my neutral concerns, and some of them I've also seen in comments and stuff like that, so I just wanted to address them here. And if Nora, you are in the comments, definitely leave a comment sort of addressing these if you'd like. I could be wrong about some stuff too. Like I don't know exactly the inner workings of the of what's going on behind the scenes. My concern is I was rewatching one of the live streams and someone asked something about the goal. And he did mention that the 10K, and by the way, this is Canadian you're seeing right here. This isn't US. Like, the goal is 10K, not or 10K euros, not 15K, like it says here. Anyway, apparently that's not actually enough to fund the game. Now, that wouldn't really be an issue if they had a publisher lined up, and I don't know if they do, so I could be completely wrong about that. Like Anitons, for example, 75K probably wouldn't have been enough to fully fund the game, but they've had publishers already come to them. So it's like 75K will definitely get the game going, and then the publisher would fill in the rest. So I could be wrong about that. If they do have publishers lined up, that's great. Another thing is I would have liked to see a lot more gameplay. I do think it's a little bit early in development to go for a Kickstarter. Like, if we look at like Anitons and Kindred Fates, like there's tons of gameplay footage out there for the games, and they're really well put together and whatnot. The only gameplay footage we see is from that prototype version and a tiny little snippet during the trailer, and it's just the character walking. It's nothing too specific. I'd like to see more of that. He is streaming every day, so I did suggest, hey, maybe show off some of the gameplay. That'd be pretty cool too. Other than that, he did mention during one of his streams that he is going to hire a developer to help work on the game and an artist, and I'm not 100% sure. Nor said his coding experience is mostly actually from, and I could be wrong about this, I believe he said from computer programming or website design or something to that extent. So that is pretty similar to game design. I'm not going to say it's not, because it is. I've done both. But I'm not 100% sure how much gaming experience, like game design experience he has, and how the programming experience has sort of translated to game design. But the thing is, like, I don't know if the 10K is going to be enough to both fund the project and be able to pay for an artist and a developer, especially if he's freelancing. It does get quite expensive. Obviously, if it hits a lot more, then we won't really have to worry about that, because I don't think a lot of these stretch goals are expensive to make. The Switch one might be, but the rest of them are more just like pretty simple to develop. They're not, I don't want to say simple, because like adding a Nuzlocke mode isn't like easy or anything, but it's not something that requires a bunch of assets. That's where a lot of the money ends up going, is into assets and stuff like that. So those are just some of my concerns with the project. I could be wrong about certain things. I don't know if he has a publisher or anything like that. He is streaming every day, so I'm sure he'll talk about this. And yeah, I became a $100 Euro backer, so I'm gonna be a villain, which it's a Black Friday thing. I get a wallpaper. I get the game obviously on Steam, the soundtrack, alpha access, my name on the Holy Stone. That's kind of, and a statue. Those are the ones that kind of that I was like, okay, I need to get these. The digital book is cool, and super backer roll on Discord. That's pretty cool too. I'm generally not super active in any of the other Discords because I'm in so many. But you also get a dark Fenroar, which is this thing we saw down here. This guy, but dark. He's way down at the bottom, I believe. Yeah, you can see him here. But like I said, those are just some of my concerns, and some concerns that I have seen from some of the people in the community. I don't have all the knowledge of what's going on behind the scenes. Here he is, by the way. But yeah, other than that, the game does look pretty cool. So I am hoping that everything works out, and those concerns are kind of quashed. And yeah, if you do want to check it out, I'll leave the Kickstarter linked in the description. And yeah, with all that being said, if you did enjoy the video, as usual, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at GymLeaderEd. Check out my subscriber Discord and my Patreon, all links in the description. Until next time, peace.